You are now listening to the J Ade podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the J Ade podcast, man. This right here is episode 6. It's your boy J Ade. Before I go any further, I just wanted to introduce myself and my social media like I do every single week. Follow me on Instagram at Joe the Great. That's JOETHEGR number 8, as well as my podcast page. That's j.ade.pod. That's j.ade.pod for my slow-mos out there. But right now, I have 3 special guests for today's episode. We have 2 ladies and 1 gentleman, including myself, making 2. So, lady number 1, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm the princess. I'm from the trenches.
The princess from the trenches. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay, princess from the trenches. All right, lady number 2, what's your name?
It's NAT.
What's that?
Shout out, Nat, NAT, man. All right, so, gentlemen, what's your name, man?
Hey, man. It's the cameraman. You feel me?
The cameraman. I don't know what names they got going on today.
But I'm going to shout out my nigga Josh. You know.
All right, man.
So,
hey.
Shout out to Josh. You feel me?
Boy. All right, so everybody got funny names today, so hopefully y'all might have to say y'all names at some point because I'm not going to remember it. But without further ado, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 6 of the J.I.D. podcast, and this week's controversial topic is, can chivalry and gender equality coexist? Yes or no? So we start with the ladies for the introductions. We want to have this gentleman say his answer, yes or no, maybe a little bit of a description of his answer, and then we're going to go around the table and we're going to get the ball rolling. Let's go.
Man, I'm going to say no.
And why is that?
Flat out. Like,
why is that?
If we're equal in every facet of life. You feel me?
Okay.
If I have to pay for your food, because you make the same money as me, then we're equal. Like.
Okay. All right, what do y'all have to say about that, ladies? Yes or no? Can chivalry and gender equality coexist?
I'm going to say yes, it can.
And why is that?
Okay, well, for starters, I'm actually not for gender equality as much as I am for gender equity, because I believe that both sexes need different things.
Right.
I think that our basic needs and our employment and our responsibilities should carry the same weight. But I don't think that what a man needs and what a woman needs are the same. Okay. So I think equality kind of doesn't really answer the varying needs between the sexes. Okay. So that's first of all. And I say yes, they can coexist because, again, in a world where it's gender equity rather than gender equality, which is what I am interested in. Okay. Chivalry has a place because, as I said, we all have varying needs.
Okay, and just for clarification, ladies and gentlemen, the definition of equity is the quality of being fair and impartial. So, lady number 2, state your yes or no. Can chivalry and gender equality coexist?
So I'm going to say a big yes, and I'm going to echo what Bem said in stronger terms by saying gender equality is an entire myth. We, men and women, are not the same. Okay. I don't think so. Equality to me is applying strict standards of fairness to each sex. Okay. Whereas equity is custom fit, kind of. Okay. It is giving each person what they need. And in that vein, I believe that chivalry is encompassed in equity because what a woman needs is different from what a man needs.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. My answer has changed because I'm thinking right now.
My man's answer changed 2 minutes into the episode.
I'm thinking right now.
Let's hear it.
I'm thinking right now.
Let's hear it.
As a man, yes, I'll pay for your dinners. I'll take you out. Okay. All that stuff. Okay. But when it comes down to the bills, like the house bills and things like that, I feel like if you had the same position as me, we are getting paid the same. So we should split that half and half.
So you believe, on the record, you believe that men and women in the United States of America make the same amount of money if they hold the same position?
In 2019, for the same position.
Speak on it.
I feel like we do.
Ladies, y'all looking at me funny right now.
I'm going to counter that. Even if I make more money than you, it's not about the money. It's about the gentlemanly act.
But I think that's what the debate is, right? So if we are all equal,
I want us to just pause.
Okay.
Before we
go any further.
And
backtrack on the payment issue.
Educate the photographer. What was DJ? What was your name?
My name is Josh.
No, he's the cameraman.
The cameraman.
Okay.
I thought you were shouting out your nigga Josh. I don't know.
Nah, it's a social media thing. Continue.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Okay. So, to the cameraman's point that he believes that in 2019, men and women that hold the same position are compensated the same. I would like that to be struck from the record because it's highly incorrect. Speak on it. I don't think that we can continue the podcast without rectifying the misinformation.
Hit him with these facts real quick. Hit him with these facts
that you're trying to
spread to the world.
Spread, yeah.
So
I want to address that a bit. I mean, I don't think that gender equality and chivalry, all this stuff but I want that to be clarified because there's an audience and we do have a responsibility.
We'll get back to that. You feel me?
No, we must.
I agree.
We must.
But how can you agree if you just said that you believe that?
I agree that we need to address this right now.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so you're saying if there's a job billet out there for a position, it says you need this amount of experience, this amount of education, and I think they have like a preset like payment or what's it called, salary for them. Like they know what they're gonna pay them, right? So you're saying that if it's a woman that gets a job, they're gonna decrease it by how much?
No,
89%?
Your wage might be the same off the bat.
Okay,
but what they mean with the wage gap, which is currently women making 80 cents for every dollar a man makes, is broader than that.
That changes based on race, by the way.
Changes based on race. But it's broader than that. It means maybe, for example, this is just one variation of it, by the end of the year, the man is taking home more than the woman for the same full-time job.
So this is not fresh out of undergrad. This is after you get promoted, kind of.
Sure.
For the
same job. Why is that? Let's explore it. Women can get pregnant. Women might need days off when they are on their periods.
Yeah.
Might not be paid those days. There are many factors that contribute. So what we were saying, what me and Princess were saying about equity is giving each sex what they need to succeed and come out the same.
Right.
And that might mean giving us paid time of the month leave or paid maternity leave. So it means giving like accommodations so that it can put us on the same footing, because we're not on the same footing. My basic premise was men and women are not the same. You don't have those 2 days a month where you're guaranteed to feel terrible.
That's
so
they're
not
regardless of like as it stands right now, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Oh, she brought up the stats. What's up?
For every dollar that a white man makes,
speak on it.
A white woman makes 77 cents. A black woman makes 65 cents. And a Latina woman makes 57 cents.
Where's the black man at?
That's not my concern.
Wow. And we're not speaking.
You don't care about the black man
at the moment.
What?
But if you want to know, the black man makes 88 cents to the white man's dollar. The black woman is 79 cents.
Okay, that's still much less though.
To say that just because a job posting is giving each person the same amount is simple thinking.
Because you know that there's negotiations that go on with contracts.
That's a fact.
And women oftentimes are not encouraged to ask for more. White men, first of all, everyone around this table knows that white men have a level of entitlement that not many.
We getting political with
anyone else does.
Let's talk
white men walk around like they own the earth. They are literally raised to believe that they deserve everything and anything.
Man, my name's Jeff. This is not Josh here.
So
white men go into these interviews and they go into these contract negotiations with the mindset that they deserve more or they deserve better.
That's low-key a fact.
In any case, I think you get it now. So that aside, I don't think the wage gap even has much to do with the chivalry, gender equality existence.
Right.
Because like I was saying, even if I'm making more than you, for you to pay for dinner for me is just a gentlemanly act. It's not about the money.
But that's the thing though. So and I think that's what it ties into here, right? So when I initially posed the question, it wasn't a matter of who's making more than who. It's a matter of, as human beings, if we are seen as equal, in capabilities and in,
So I just want to clarify. On the poll, you're operating under the assumption that we have achieved gender equality.
No,
right?
But
so my question. So is your question that once gender equality is achieved, Does chivalry still have a place in society? Is that the question?
Okay, we'll go with that.
Can we go back and say gender equality doesn't exist and we've already replaced it with?
I want to go with the question as it's posed.
Okay. So matter of fact, let's go with,
because if we're doing gender equity,
okay,
then the answer is absolutely left. Absolutely yes. If you're doing gender equality, then I don't think so, because gender equality is a very hard, narrow set of rules that if A happens, then A must happen here. If A happens here, then A must happen here. So if we're moving and a man has to, if we're moving into a house, you and I are married, we're moving into a house.
Right.
If you're carrying 3 boxes, I'm carrying 3 boxes.
Right.
If you're driving the moving truck, I'm driving the moving truck.
It assumes we have the same
It assumes that we have the same responsibilities across the board.
Right.
So in that scenario, obviously not, chivalry doesn't work. It's not possible.
That's the scenario I'm talking about.
Under gender, then the answer is no.
But how y'all?
But under gender equity, which is what I strongly believe that we should all be working for, which is fairness rather than, the same rule across the board.
And that's why I use the word equality instead of equity, because somebody actually asked about that. They said, "Why did you use the word equity as opposed to equality?"
Yeah.
And
so
that's the reason why I use
equality, no. It's very clear that it's not possible.
But that's interesting though, because we have NAT over here that made the point that it's gentlemanly to do so. But why can't it be a gentlewoman?
Gentlewomanly. Is that what you wanted to say?
There are so many gentlewomen.
Let's talk about it.
There are so many gentlewomen.
If y'all genuinely think...
Let's talk about it.
Genuinely think that opening our car doors and paying for our dinner amounts to the work that women do for men...
Let's talk about
it.
Then
let's just end the recording. And let me go home.
What do y'all do though?
And let me go home. What do we do? First of all, have you ever had a girlfriend?
Oh
yeah, I got a girl right now actually.
Hey, shout out! No, don't say her name though, man. Can't put her on the spot like that. Nah.
And so you're sitting here in your capacity as a boyfriend to a young lady. I'm assuming.
I said I got a girl, not a girlfriend.
Wow.
I'm her nigga, not her boyfriend.
Wow. How do y'all ladies feel about that?
But you can't continue though.
How y'all ladies feel about that?
Okay, I just think we should stay on topic.
But you can continue though.
This is
damn.
So back to my question. Have you ever had a girlfriend before that you were in a committed relationship with that she could stand in public and shout, "Josh is my boyfriend"? Not before you come and say, "Nah, I'm her nigga though." I don't want that situation.
Crazy.
We're not dealing with situationships. I'm saying, have you ever had a girlfriend in a committed relationship as an adult? I don't want to hear about middle school either.
Middle school.
Yes.
And what age were you?
It was last year.
Oh, turn up.
And were you in and out of college?
I was out of college.
Out of college.
Ooh.
Yeah.
As a working adult.
Yeah.
And you had a girlfriend. Did she live in the same area as you?
Nah, but we're not about to get into the specifics right now, so.
Oh, you're not trying to expose himself.
No, but this is important to know.
This is important to know the dynamics of a relationship, so I can accurately answer your question. What do y'all do for us?
I mean, y'all do a lot though. I'm not gonna say y'all.
So then why did you ask that?
I want to know what you think y'all do for us.
Okay.
My girl could be different than other women. I think she's very different.
So he wants to know specifically what do
you do for your nigga?
Bring to the table.
I will be honest with you. My man can't live without me. Like, that's facts. Yeah.
Your man can't live without you?
No, he cannot.
Let's elaborate on it, please. Elaborate on it, please.
Cannot.
Elaborate, please.
No, he cannot.
Elaborate,
please. He can.
Cannot.
How can he?
Cannot.
Wow.
Let's talk about it. Wow. So,
how can he?
So how can he not live without you? Like what?
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, when I'm with somebody, like that, I invest so much of myself into that person.
Yeah.
Because once we make the decision that we're in a committed relationship, I am committed to you. I'm committed to your success. Your success is my success. Your failure is my failure. So in anything that you're doing, if it's sending an email, if you need my help, I'm gonna help you out. If it's proofreading a contract, I'm gonna help you proofread it. Like, have you eaten today? Have you worked out today? How are you feeling? How's your mental health this week? We support y'all in ways that y'all really don't support us. That's first of all.
Okay.
When's the last time you asked your girlfriend how she was feeling?
Ooh. Let's talk about
it. We're not about to get into specifics right now.
Yeah, why would we? We carry y'all. Oh. And y'all pay for our dinners and open our car doors if you feel like it.
But I feel like...
So...
Is that chivalry though? On your part, like
you guys, term for it.
You guys are just lucky that there's something to call it.
Exactly.
You just call it being a woman or being a girlfriend.
Term for it.
There's nothing that qualifies what we do because y'all just take it as a given.
So y'all don't pay for dinners at all?
What?
Y'all don't pay for dinners at all?
Honestly, at the stage I am in my relationship and in my maturity, I'm not looking at the receipts at dinner. Like, I'm not really worried
money bags like that. You just got it.
I'm not worried about who's paying for dinner when I go out to eat with my man. Like, that's not what we're focused on. We're not there anymore.
So you're focused on
far past that.
On what?
How we're growing as a couple. How is our money looking? Like, it's not really about Like, how are we getting a house? How are we putting down a down payment for an apartment together?
All right,
what are we doing?
Speaking of that,
equality.
Who's gonna pay most of the mortgage on that?
And I don't do mortgages.
Rent.
Like rent. Like who pays like? Let's say you live with your man.
Again. Okay, and also I should probably give some context. I'm an African.
Okay.
I'm from West Africa.
Okay.
So in our culture, men pay for things.
What country you repping?
It's not. Certainly not Nigeria. Certainly not Nigeria.
Jesus.
Okay, because then you have to start asking about who is putting their fuel in the generator because they don't have lines.
Nah, continue.
Right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I disagree, but continue.
You have light. You have electricity in your country?
Man,
where you from?
Because I was told.
She's not trying to reveal it clearly, but you know
I was told that the reason that Nigerians are so loud is because y'all are used to speaking over the generator. Because y'all don't have light. Nepa brings light.
All right, no, seriously though.
Right? Okay. So in my culture, it's really not a conversation. Like, it's not something that we talk about because it's.
The men cover it, right? You said
it's not really. So it's really the first time I've ever heard of these type of $200 dates and all sorts of nonsense is Americans. To be honest,
it's because he wasn't paid for it. That's why.
No, but can we also? I'm going to hold you accountable and say that we are of a certain class over there.
Okay.
So yeah, she didn't want to go there.
Yes,
I know her.
Money bags on that side.
I know her.
Uh-oh.
So for her, she's.
I did say I was princess.
She's princess, and we have been with people who are easily able to do that.
Right.
And are raised well.
Right.
And I'll leave it at privilege.
Okay.
They're not all raised well.
Right.
Hers might be. But they're not all raised well. They just have the money from their parents to do so.
Exactly.
Or from hard work.
To fund it, yeah.
Parents. I'm saying some, but I'm not going to say all of them are raised well.
Okay.
I'm going to just leave it at privilege.
Okay.
Okay? And say that they're able to do the $200 dates since we were like 12.
Okay.
Which is not the case here.
Yeah, I agree.
And she and I have that experience where we've been here from a young age and we've been able to compare. So I just want us to acknowledge that before we say, "Oh, in our culture we all."
But even in other social economic classes, the responsibility still falls on the man. Like, I still feel like, for example, my housekeeper's husband.
There's more of an onus on the man to provide.
Yeah,
agreed.
It's in our culture. Like, for example, that's even why the whole stereotype about when you get married and you don't gain weight. It's like why your husband isn't taking care of you, or like why are you still so skinny, etc.
Right.
And even in our culture, it's actually quite. I think it was in the last 15 years that there was a law, because in our culture, when a man dies, all his wealth is supposed to go to his sister's children, not his wife and her children.
Oh wow!
And it was just recently in our culture that in our country that a law was put in place to stop that.
What if he doesn't have a sister?
Then his mother, I think. I don't really know. But it goes to his family. It's not supposed to be for the wife.
Interesting.
Which used to be really hectic because like you would be mourning your husband and people are clearing things out of your house. So like the point of that is that the man is literally seen as the keeper of the wealth and the finances. No matter
what is the downside of that in our culture?
I mean,
control.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that plays directly into the lack of equality. But you guys just said yes, they can coexist.
I said
so. Our culture elevates chivalry over equality,
100%.
which I think is
why
totally backwards.
Exist.
Because I believe equity / your equality is a baseline, and chivalry is icing on the top. They coexist, but with chivalry as a supplement to equity.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're not even talking about equity. So like,
I'm saying, that's what she was saying, that like, so in our society, chivalry is valued way above, or
like
chivalry.
You're not gonna work, but I'm gonna pay for everything, but you're not allowed to work.
Okay.
And then you can't critique anything that I ever do because I'm the one that's working, and that's why I'm saying that in that sense, equality doesn't exist and chivalry does.
But you guys are saying
chivalry
that
in that
you believe they can coexist, but you're just saying that
according with to equity. Culture.
No, I'm talking about equality.
I've already said that with equality it doesn't work.
Yeah, so that's the question. So again, the question is, can chivalry and gender equality coexist?
Equality, no. I said that.
So both of you are saying no now.
Yeah. Equality, no.
Okay, so and I think another thing to also point out is that chivalry is based in the ideology. Well, I guess generally speaking, a lot of people believe that chivalry is based in the ideology that women are the weaker species, and
I don't
they
think
kind
that's.
of
I've
need,
never seen a definition of chivalry that said that.
Yes,
and they kind of need
weaker.
Yes.
They need men to do things for them, so lift things
Helping
up for them,
someone
or
weaker.
to pay for them for things and things like that.
But and to be fair, when chivalry, the concept of chivalry was born, those were facts.
Circumstances have changed.
Back then, in medieval times or whatever, when they were lifting iron shit, iron ages, whatever. Of course, women can't lift that up.
Even back then, when women weren't allowed to work on property, we were weaker.
Are we talking about? We talking about now though. Like we're talking about like this day and age.
I think the definition of chivalry in the context of today.
I mean, it has roots in them, but like that's not like what we're struggling with.
But because we were just discussing the actual definition, and I'm saying that why.
But I'm talking about like, do you plan on like marrying people from your culture?
100%.
Both of y'all do?
Yeah.
Both of y'all do. Well, why is that though? Is it just easier? Because I've heard a lot of people say like, okay, I marry people from my culture because that's what I'm attracted to. But I've also heard people say I'm marrying people from my culture because it's going to be easier on the family as a whole.
The familiarity.
It just makes it's
so it's not necessarily about like, let's say you meet somebody who's just fully American or just white. Like
it's impossible.
Really?
That is not possible.
So if a white man,
that is not possible.
If a white man approached you and he was everything you wanted,
he wouldn't approach me.
Why?
It's not possible.
They don't even like me.
So
I'm not the one to ask.
It's not possible.
Let's talk about that though. Like, why do y'all think that is? Like, why do you feel like white?
I don't avail myself to white people to approach me.
What about those like token white dudes that pull up to Afrobeats events in DC?
That's the ones I hate.
Why?
Haven't seen some before personally.
Girl, there was a gentleman at the Burna Boy concert wearing full kaftan and the hugs.
I don't like
and y'all
that.
not rocking with that?
Not at all.
But I feel like that kind of goes into the idea of cultural appreciation. Do you feel like that's appreciation or appropriation? If he's wearing a full kaftan to a Burna Boy concert.
It's appropriation.
He's trying to make you
how?
You're still walking the world white, but then you can be us when you feel like it.
Who forced him to rock that though? You feel me? Like,
what do you mean who forced him to rock it?
You make it seem like somebody like forced him like, yo, bruh, if you don't rock this kaftan to this Burna Boy concert, like you in trouble. He decided to wear that on his own.
Exactly.
I don't know why.
That's my point. They choose when they want to.
What if he does that all the time?
So what would you have him do instead? Like, so what if he wears that every day?
Everybody needs to be authentic to them. If you are going to take someone's whatever, give credit for it.
So how would he? Okay, so in the context of a concert, right? How could he have given credit to?
I actually would wish in that situation he would not wear that.
Just don't do it.
Why?
It's not for you.
Where else would he wear it?
It's not yours.
He shouldn't wear it.
Why wouldn't he have it though?
Is that how you feel about like a white woman wearing braids and twists,
dreads
and all that
stuff?
stuff?
We're not gonna go there.
That's not.
It's all problematic. We'll leave it there.
Okay. So okay. So let's get back on track. In terms of being a gentleman and being a gentlewoman, I'm not sure if that's a word, but that's where I'm going.
It's a word.
It is a word.
Yeah.
So my overall, I think that we should discuss chivalry as a concept.
Okay.
And to my point earlier, and when you said, "What do y'all do for us?" I think that in any relationship that is a healthy, balanced, and mature relationship, there is a balance of contributions to the relationship.
I agree.
And I do think as well that different strokes for different folks. So if you have come to the point in your relationship that you want to split everything, maybe in the beginning days of courting, the man is
paying for everything.
Let's talk about courting though. Like, what about like the first date?
And that's the thing. So there's been a lot of debate about that too, especially on social media. A lot of women are saying like, yo, like, chances are like, what if I asked a nigga out on a date for the first date, right? As a woman,
that's something that I would never.
As a woman, are y'all expecting him to still pay even if you ask him?
I can't,
because that plays into the whole equality thing too, right?
We can't relate.
I can't.
You would never ask a nigga on a date ever?
Never.
Not my calling.
Never.
My question.
Never.
Never at all.
So that's just never been your energy.
Not once.
Interesting. So okay, but how is that not equality? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like for you to say you'll never pay for a man on, you're saying you never pay for a man on a date, or never ask a man on a date?
I never said that.
Ask a man on a date.
So you'll never ask him, but you would pay for the date.
I'm not gonna ask a man on a date. No.
But you would pay for the actual date.
I will pay.
Okay, wait. I would never ask a man on a first date. Obviously, if I'm with my man, I'd be like, "Oh, babe, let me take you for dinner this weekend." Or, "Oh, babe,
we talking about pre-relationship.
Yeah.
Have you ever grabbed the check?
Pre-relationship, I'm attracted to people for whom money is not an issue.
Okay.
So rich niggas.
Not necessarily rich.
Don't fuck with no broke niggas.
No. You don't have to have that much money, but it shouldn't be an issue. It should be who's going to take the check today? We're both willing to do it.
I feel it. But
if you're going to go on a date, at least have $100.
But have you ever grabbed the check though? Like, have you ever
me?
I've been on
2 seconds. Every 2 seconds.
Really? You grab it?
Actually, personally, people take advantage of me, so I'm always paying for stuff.
So you trying to get some coffee? You know?
No.
Whoa, shit!
I'm kidding.
My man tried to
I'm kidding.
I am constantly grabbing checks and things like that. However, going forward, I'm looking for people to whom money is not an issue for a date. If you know you're coming on a date with me, at this age, I'm 25.
Okay.
At this age, we should all have jobs. You should be able to save $100 to go on a date with me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Have it there.
What's the minimum?
If we fight and take, what do you mean? What's the minimum?
The minimum that a guy should bring to a date.
$100.
It depends on where we're going.
$100. Just bring $100.
But it also goes into like,
he's grinding like he don't got $100, but he was like.
Why don't you have $100 at 25 and you know you're going? You had the energy to ask me on a date. You don't have $100.
Cause he's grinding like he's.
But it also depends on what you.
Not for me. Everyone should be able to at least come up with that for a date if you're that serious.
And it also depends on what you consider.
I'm not
to be a
casually
date.
dating anymore. I'm not just.
Yeah, you dating and marry, huh?
Not necessarily, but dating with a purpose. I'll say that.
But I mean, what would the purpose?
Not to marry, but with a purpose.
But I mean, isn't the purpose to marry?
To grow.
No, the purpose is companionship. Yeah. I actually don't feel the need to be married. So I went to law school, and after studying a little bit of family law, I actually find marriage highly problematic.
Okay.
I plan to make a lot of money.
Okay.
And marriage means splitting it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even thinking about taking yours. I'm thinking about you taking mine. So I find marriage as an institution a little problematic. And so I'm dating with a purpose for companionship. I'll say that. Who's going to be a good co-parent? Who's going to be a friend to me forever? Because things are going to fade away. I think I'm pretty good looking, but I'm not going to be such forever. Right. He's not going to be such forever. Okay. Those things are going to fade away. There needs to be a friendship at the end of the day. How far are looks going to carry you? So based on that, having a friendship and things like that, that's what I mean by dating with a purpose. Dating with someone who you can see yourself with for a long time. I'm not going to put a title on it. I'm not the kind of girl who needs a ring or wants to be married tomorrow or anything like that.
I feel it, but just going on another tangent, just based on something you said, right? So you said you plan to make a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. And I think
everyone should be in this day and age.
And the reason why, I agree, and the reason why you don't necessarily, I guess, you're not really pressed for marriage is because you don't want somebody taking that money.
Marriage can be messy.
Meaning that you are full on prenup, like, without a doubt.
Standard.
For real?
Everybody.
But isn't that a sign of like lack of trust?
Everybody.
You're saying you're going to get divorced.
Don't go there. Don't do the whole.
It means
you're going to need a plan B. Everybody needs to protect their money.
Let's talk about it.
I'm cool with my man asking for one, and I'm cool with.
So y'all love is strong. Your love isn't strong enough then.
So you're saying y'all love is weak?
That argument doesn't hold water.
Why?
It does not hold water.
Why not?
Everybody protect what they worked for. That's it.
But like our love, I feel like honestly though, if I'm with somebody,
our love can be weak all day. Then fine, people change.
People change.
What about your money is my money?
What about your vows?
Yeah. Oh, my money is not your money.
Your vows.
My money is not your money.
So you
your money is not my money.
I
never make the mistake of thinking someone's money is my money.
You made your vows until death do us part. And you're gonna.
So you believe in split accounts in the institution of marriage?
That's actually why I said marriage can be messy. I'm not making any vows till death do nothing.
You're not gonna say that.
I'm making vows until you stay who I was married to.
Don't you still have to say that in court though? Like till death do us part, or I guess you don't.
I actually like that. Wait.
I'm keeping my vows until as long as we stay true to each other.
I like that.
Once that changes, you're not who I married anymore. You're a different person.
So you're anticipating the change, though. That's what I'm saying. So like,
I'm not anticipating it.
I think at that point you're not going into marriage with the right mindset. You feel me? Like you can't be pessimistic like that.
Trust me, I'm better off than many.
Ooh, money back. Let me hold
by thinking that.
Let me hold
I don't think there's any problem with thinking that people might change. People are so fickle. They can change.
I mean, I understand that, but I still think that.
And I'm definitely protecting my
resenting that prenup right out the gate. I think that also ties into, like you were saying, my money is my money, or it's not our money, right?
We can have a joint account.
But at that point, who's putting in more money? And that ties into
we can put in the same. Again. We can put in the same.
But
money.
What if your man making like $60K less than you?
I'm not.
So you will only marry a nigga who makes more than you. That's what you're saying.
Same is my preference.
Same or more.
I actually don't want someone who is too far above me. I don't want to say that right now because I have high hopes for myself.
Okay.
But I don't want someone who's too far above me because to me, too much money means too much control over me. I tie money to control, and that I think it's because of our culture, Princess. Men think that they use their money to control. Mm-hmm. I believe that.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think a woman would, if a woman's making more than her husband, don't you think she would also try to use that control as well?
Yep.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's human nature.
So, and I
I'm
guess
pulling the strings, so.
But like,
I can take this away from you.
So let's say, for example, right? Let's say the difference is just $10K, right? Mm-hmm. Is that still a deal breaker for you?
No. I started this with I'm not a penny counter.
Right.
I don't like. To me, on a date, it's not who's paying for. It should be nothing to both of us. Like we should be each ready to do it. Mm. I think it's the mindset. Like I said, paying is not about money. It's about gentlemanliness or gentlewomanliness. Whoever's ready to do it.
But okay, and that.
But everyone should be ready.
So
nobody should tell me they left their wallet at home. That's crazy talk.
Nah, niggas do be leaving their wallet at home.
On the first date, are you grabbing the check? On the first date, are you grabbing the check?
Yeah, on the first date.
Like, are you even gonna look at it?
Are you expecting a man to pay?
I'm not gonna look at it.
Like, actually, because like girls,
okay,
like
I will admit, I always pretend to look at the check.
Nah, I know girls who like literally would not even eye that shit, or who goes to the bathroom during like when the check comes. I'm like,
that's problematic. I find
it's
that
very problematic. That's a red flag right there.
I find that problematic. No woman who is after you for your money is good for you. I agree.
It's not after money.
But you just said you won't marry a broke boy.
Because I have that expectation of myself.
But you said
it's not just about money. Whatever expectation I have of myself, you should meet that.
But
it's not even after the money.
But money still factors in though.
It's like you. Fine. It's like you are expecting for me to pay, and it's like
yes. If you ask me,
I'm gonna pay. I'm expecting for both of us to try and pay.
I'm gonna pay no matter what. But it's like.
If you ask me
at least
on a date,
don't expect me to pay like
I
nothing's
agree.
guaranteed.
Ask me on a date.
I feel the same way.
Then like at least look at the check.
I agree with
like,
you.
Ask how much it was.
That's what I said.
At least offer be like.
That's what I said. I will always pretend to look at the check.
If you ask me on a date, I expect you to pay.
It's not even a date. All right, what if
you have asked me here.
I expect you.
It depends on what you consider a date.
I expect you to be able to pay. Whoever gets to the waitress first pays. That's it.
Well, the waitress gonna come to your table, bro. If y'all see it face to face, what you mean?
It's about readiness to me. It's not about money to me. It's about
readiness. If you
have
asked me to come out of my house.
I mean, I guess for y'all, because y'all don't ask dudes on dates though, right? But I guess that also ties into.
I thought we were talking about specifically about the first date. This is
okay, yeah, fine, yeah.
On the first date, if you've asked me on a date, you are paying. It's not a long
not
conversation.
Even a date. Let's say you from Pittsburgh, right? Or like you went to school
what?
there. like you went to school in Pittsburgh, right? That's what I meant. None of us are from Pittsburgh, but you went to school there, right?
Yeah.
So you know like Mad Max on Atwood. So let's say,
Mad Max is literally half off wings. If this is a conversation, I'm not going with you.
All right,
the wings are half off. The wings are no. Don't even do this.
No.
Please.
Trust me.
Please. If the wings at Mad Max are quite literally half off. Guy, is this a conversation?
Listen.
Stay in your dorm.
Listen, Linda, listen. Yo, so I was talking to Shorty, right? Not talking like, we was like, a little text on the side. She was like, let's go get food. I was like, where? She said, Mad Max. I was like, let's go after 12 o'clock because it's half off. She was like, no, let's go at 7 o'clock. Right?
It's still half off because it's happy hour. It is.
It wasn't happy hour.
Wings are half off. That's you.
I full price.
You know your rights. That's not my problem.
All right.
Look, Mad Max is not a conversation to be had. I cannot believe you brought up Mad Max. I wish you had said something else.
Nah, listen. All right.
I wish.
All right, let's say it was 10 o'clock, but it was a full price time, right? So first of all, I was like, let's go during half off. She was like, nah, let's go during regular hours, right? I took her there, right? We was eating food.
You got me hot.
We was eating food, right? As friends, we was eating food.
You just said you were doing a little texting on the side, so obviously it's a
we're
bit
still
more.
Friends, though. We're still
it's
friends,
a bit more than friends.
It wasn't a date. It wasn't a date.
So was it a finesse situation?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not just as friends.
But it was her idea though. It was her idea.
Look, honestly,
it was her idea.
The thing
she
is,
said, "Let's go to lunch."
Let me be honest with you.
Okay, so would he have been wrong if he made her pay for that Mad Max?
No disrespect.
It was her idea.
No disrespect.
Remember that.
No disrespect. Let's hear the disrespect is coming. Nah, let's hear it. She about to disrespect this.
I was gonna pay no matter what. I'm trying
to hear this disrespect. Hold up. No disrespect. Continue. I never heard somebody say
I'm
something
about to get really disrespectful in this motherfucker.
I've never heard somebody say something respectful. I just say no disrespect. Let's hear it.
Yeah, you're
a broke boy.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm a broke boy for what?
Essentially, like
for what?
For me, honestly, you're talking about Mad Max. We're talking.
No. It's a principle. No. It's a principle.
Niggas that say the principle are broke, guy.
Nigga,
like.
All right. This time last year, I was broke. All right. This time last year, I was a college nigga. I was broke in college.
Okay.
All right. I was a broke boy.
Then let's admit that you are speaking from your brokenness, not principle. It's from your pocket.
No. I'm speaking from equality. Because me and her were both college students making the same amount of money. You know, no money because we're in college. And we was like, we were the Mad Max. And she expected me to pay. I expected me to pay also. But she didn't offer. That's the problem. At least offer.
And she wasn't even trying to compromise to go after midnight.
Here's my question. What does the offer do for you? What does it do?
It lets me know that there's some effort placed there. Like, I know I'm going to pay regardless. You feel me? Because that's just how I am. I was going to do that anyway. You feel me? Shout out that Jeff.
Because that's how I am.
No, but seriously, like, I think it's a matter of, like, let's say, like, the check comes. I reach out for it. I want you to also, like, fake reach out for it.
Why?
So I know, like, yo.
And then
like,
what?
You fake reach out for it. That fake reach lets me know, like, all right, this shorty's solid, bro. Facts.
Because you actually don't
She's
like
faking.
being...
Okay, I'd rather you fake it just fake so I can know.
Fake. Nah, actually, at least fake. Because that whole City Girls movement is not going to work.
City Girls!
That whole City Girls movement is not going to work.
What's the City Girls movement?
Yeah,
that whole, like...
using these niggas.
They're going to pay
for my shit. Sign them visas. Yeah, let's find this drug deals. We're going to pay for my shit. Yeah, they're going to pay for your shit. But, like, in 10 years, they're not going to be here. Right?
That's the point. We're scamming them.
Exactly.
Not me.
But some shorties be getting white by
that's some real shit. Like, this City Girls movement has the streets dead right now. You know why? Because they like expect shit that like they're not gonna get from niggas who they want.
Like, I think that's a fact.
I'm gonna be honest. Again.
Okay.
No disrespect.
Yeah, it's like a real disrespect.
No disrespect.
This whole very performative, reach for the check, show me that you care. Are you poor?
It's not about being poor though. It's not about being poor. It's not about being poor.
It's are you poor? Because we're equal. So are you poor?
Yo,
I don't want no broke shorty either.
I'm money bags.
I don't want no broke shorty either.
I'm money bags.
I don't want no broke shorty either.
Honestly, a man who, when discussing dates and picking up checks, is talking to me about Mad Max.
No, but he was in college.
That was an example.
That was an example.
Even in college,
I ain't saying nobody no dates.
Even in college, no nigga on my line will be talking to me about Mad Max, whether it's 12 p.m. or 12 a.m.
So where's you going to Chipotle?
I'm just saying, like, what is that? Like that $54 at Mad Max is hurting your pockets.
I mean, but
at Mad Max,
that's bread.
In college, you're wild. 54 at Mad Max in college.
Broke boys unite.
Real shit, nigga.
Yeah, this isn't a conversation that I can have.
Okay. But going off of that point though, so not even about paying for dates, because I feel like that's what people think about the most when they're talking about gender equality, right?
Yeah, we have this conversation on Twitter dates. Like every 3 weeks.
Literally, $200 dates, this and that, should the woman pay, should the man pay? But then there's other components of, chivalry that a lot of people talk about. So we have like holding the doors open, pulling out chairs.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How many times do you hold open a door for a woman?
All the time.
How many times do you open a car door for a woman?
Often enough.
How many times do you open a car door for a woman?
You actually go around and open the car for a woman here?
I've done it before, yes.
You have done it before.
I don't go out of my way to do it.
So let's say, if a woman
is it an Uber?
If a woman is sitting in your car 5 times, how many times of the 5 have you opened the door for her?
In my car,
yes.
3. I'll say 3.
Joseph,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say 1.
1 out of 5 times.
In my car. Is that chivalry? You have hands too. It's no, like actually,
let's talk about it.
Actually, like, what is me holding the door for you gonna do? It's performative at the end of the day.
Too.
It's performative, right?
But I mean, I feel like one can argue that most chivalrous acts are
Okay,
performative.
can we bring it back to what we originally said?
Okay, bring it back. Let's go.
We all have hands. We know that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some things you can do over and above that we also do over and above.
Okay. And just
it goes back to that. There's something you can just do out of the goodness of your heart, which you feel to do, and we can also do what we feel to do, and you should recognize.
And just for clarification, ladies and gentlemen, the official definition of chivalry is courteous behavior, especially that of a man toward women. And I think it's easy for people to say, okay, each person can do that thing. So holding a door open or, you know, giving up your seat on a bus or a train. But it's like, why can't a woman give up her seat for me? You feel me? I think that's the debate.
Why would I do that?
But why wouldn't you do that? You feel me? And I think that's the question. Equality versus chivalry. Can they coexist? I think the fact that a woman can ask me, why should I give up my seat? But as a man, I should be, you know, like urged to give up my seat.
How many times do you give up your seat for women?
I'm curious. Do men feel urged to do these things that are considered social norms? Like giving up seats and opening doors, do you do them because you want to? Because you think it's nice?
I feel bad.
I do because I think it's nice.
I feel bad sometimes.
I don't do it because I feel like I have to.
You do it because you think it's nice, which is what I see chivalry as, an elective. Does anybody feel forced to do it?
I feel bad sometimes.
A lot of dudes do feel forced to do a lot of the stuff that they do, though, bro.
Not forced.
Like, especially like paying
Then don't do it.
No, but
to me, chivalry is an elective. And that's why, going back to your question, I believe they can coexist. I feel equality, I'm not even going to use equality because I said it's a myth. Equity is a must.
What's equity again?
Equity
fairness.
is...
The official...
No, equality is fairness, is strict fairness. Equity is giving each person what they need to succeed. No. To me, equality is being strictly fair and impartial. Okay. To me, equity is giving each person what they need to succeed. Someone who can't see as well needs glasses to be the same as someone who has 20/20.
Right.
So we're giving you what you need to be the same as the person who already has it made for them.
The definition of equity you gave
affirmative action.
The definition of equality.
Exactly. That's an
affirmative
example.
action is an example of equity.
We need and some people need an extra boost than others.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I still feel like there's certain things. So like asking a girl to dance at a party, for example, right? That is probably one of the most general concepts ever within a club, right? Some people will say, like, I've had a situation where I was in college and, you know, I'm from Maryland. Like, I went to Pittsburgh and I pulled up on a girl at a function to dance with her, and she like kind of like pushed me back and was like, wow, like, are you not gonna like verbally ask me to dance with you? And I thought that was very interesting because she was like, yeah, that's not what a gentleman would do. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's very interesting too, because I think, where do we draw the line in terms of like what is chivalrous? Like, I can't cop some twerk in peace, bro.
No.
Like, how can
permission?
What?
You're
bro,
serving yourself.
By the time I go up to you and I'm like, yo, shorty, you trying to slap me some twerk? At that point, the vibe is dead.
You're serving yourself.
How?
When I twerk on people, I don't want to be doing that.
Alright, how do you decide you go twerk on somebody?
Oh yeah, I want to know about that.
When I saw the shorties, man, I'm behind them.
Hey.
And like,
sometimes I'm twerking on you because you bought me a drink. And that's why I'm saying paying for stuff sometimes comes with repercussions for us.
How so?
Sometimes I don't do it anymore because I'm too grown. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, I used to just twerk on people. Oh, this person brought me champagne. Let me just
don't do that. Just don't do that because you.
She said she don't do it anymore because she's grown.
Of course, I don't do that anymore.
I actually hate that
I'm just saying that sometimes women also do things that they don't want to do because men did something they didn't want to do.
Like, I'll buy shorty a drink and just walk away.
Yeah, buying us a drink is called chivalrous, but us who don't want to twerk on you, who eventually do twerk on you, is called what?
All right, what about like no drinks involved? Like a nigga just trying to twerk on you. How do you decide if he's about to twerk on you?
The asking portion of it is wild too. Like me having to verbally ask, like, yo,
consent is very important.
No, I know. No, oh shit, I know, bro. Like,
can we start from the fact that twerking is a very sexual thing?
Yeah, some people argue that it's not though, which is crazy.
No, I'm going to tell you now that it is.
It's basic, but like,
right?
Some people argue that it's not though.
Twerking is a very sexual thing because these days, even touching someone like this becomes a whole sexual fiasco. Look what Joe Biden is going through. He kissed someone on the back of their head as an endearing act. And some people just maybe like slap people's butts because, hey, we're twerking in the club, slapping your butt. But in law school, I had a girl who was slapping people's butts at our barrister's ball, which is our law school prom.
Okay.
The girl whose butt she slapped
reported her.
Jesus Christ. Title 7.
Who twerks anymore though?
Title 7. These are two black girls.
That's all about the wine now. By the way.
A black girl reported a black girl for that. Man. People's personal space is no joke anymore.
Your skin folk ain't your kinfolk, dog. Joke. That's what they say, man.
Yeah.
Man, shout out these.
When I start stories now, I give them like a little tap on the waist. So they look at me in the eyes.
Even that, they'll tell you in 20 years, oh, this guy tapped me on the waist.
Nah. That's what I'll be saying, bro. Like, that's why, like, me, I'm willing to just ask you straight up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather ruin the whole situation.
That's what I'm saying. In this day and age, it's better to just ask.
Even when, like, I move to a party, like, you know when stories be like, oh, niggas be, like, grabbing the waist and, like, putting their dick during parties? Nah, I, like, cover my shit, then I go past. Cause you're not about to like accuse me of that shit at all. Like I'm not passing that shit like the fuck.
No, it's a must now to ask people. Like that's not we don't even need to debate on that. We see it in the news. It's a must now to ask people.
Consent is key, guys.
Key. I
mean that's a fact. But I feel like especially in the realm of the club, right? Chivalry. How can you really factor in chivalry into that? I mean, I guess you said buying a drink.
Buying stuff.
Buying a drink, but why can't...
Buying stuff is a big thing. You know, girls call it...
women buy drinks for niggas?
Girls call it taking one for the team. Have you heard of that?
I mean, I've heard it in the realms of men. Shout out Game of Thrones.
When we say we're taking one for the team, that means, crap, I have to talk to this guy just so we can all stand at the table.
Wow.
The table.
So
I don't want to talk to him, but...
The section.
Viral voice.
It's like tonight, Princess is taking one for the team. She's going to be nice to this person.
I never do this.
You never?
So, like, she doesn't do this.
So how y'all pick which girl goes?
It's whoever is the friendliest in the group.
Man, I've never me before too.
It's never me either.
But like,
also we buy our own sections. Can that be just made clear?
Nah, they do though.
We usually
they do though, man.
I will say it's harder for girls because we buy our sections when there's enough of us. But if it's just two of us going out, I'm not gonna buy a section for two people. So at that point, we need to be nice to a guy who's stupid enough to buy a section.
And that's what I be telling niggas, bro. Niggas be suckers, bro.
Yeah, because facts. This city girl shit is like
real.
It's a problem.
It's a
problem. Nah, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a problem.
And niggas think it's chivalry, bro, but it's like, no, bro, you're getting played.
You're getting played. You're getting like, yeah, I finessed that nigga, man. He bought me shit. Yeah, no, nigga.
That's
you played that nigga, bro.
It's really sad.
And I'm like, I think I'm being nice, but like. She going to her niggas be
honestly,
like,
let me be honest with you. Like,
I played that nigga.
As much as like I expect it to happen, like for example, this one day
you expect what to happen?
Men to foot the bill. Not by me. I don't drink, so I can't relate. But
she's better than us, by the way.
It's moral high ground.
Oh wow, we're immoral. Continue.
Heathens. So yeah, like. For example, one day I was sat in I think I was like in a hotel, like just working.
Okay.
In the lounge area of a hotel, was working all day.
Okay.
A friend of mine came in for a meeting or whatever. When he was paying his bill, he paid for mine, but I had no idea. So I went to pay my bill later, like when I was leaving, and he had already paid it. That was I really appreciated that. I thought that was quite nice. Like I was like, oh, that was really thoughtful and nice of him to do that. I didn't expect him to do that, but that is chivalry, in my opinion. Like that is quite nice, and I don't see how that has an effect on gender equality.
So it's the reverse, right? So let's say, would you do that for that same dude?
Yeah, I would. I honestly would. Like if Sonny was working somewhere,
support.
That's for me. Like that's not really about like tit for tat. Like, he only did that because I'm a woman. I cannot say if he would do that for a male.
He probably wouldn't.
I can't speak to that. Again, it's a cultural thing.
Right.
Again, do you know what I'm saying? But like for me, like, and also it also speaks to my personality as a human being. So even if I went somewhere and Delaney was there before me, I would probably grab her bill when I was leaving.
I think you're talking. I think you're talking to two different. We're different.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that, but I'm gonna. We're different because we're ready to pay.
I think that's rare, bro.
That's the
honestly.
baseline.
I mean, a lot of people
Me
say
and
it.
her are ready to pay
like
at any time.
But
no, you can't say you like that.
I like that.
No,
like
no.
for example,
let me finish.
even for
Let me
example,
finish.
we went for dinner once, right?
Okay.
And I had to take my sister earlier in the day to like her orientation or something at school, and I parked my car at like the MARC station, and I left my wallet in the car.
Okay.
I told her that in advance, and she was like, well, "I got it. It's fine."
I don't even remember that.
I
don't even remember what she's talking about.
This isn't. That's like
but
it's
y'all
not.
homegirls, bro. Like you can't.
Also, at the end of the. Also,
fine.
another thing I should note is that I can do that with any of my.
Can
I don't
I
have
say
friends
at
that
the
are,
time we were getting to know each other.
Yeah, we weren't.
And we were ready to do it. So my thing is readiness.
Like it's not. It's
But
like,
So y'all calling that chivalry? That's chivalry?
No, I'm not gonna call it chivalry.
But I'm just saying it's
because-
also about the person that you are dealing with. That's my point. Is that like
yes, but
it's not everyone that I could do.
you know,
that
Princess, we need to hold ourselves accountable. We're able to. I've had friends who are not as able as us to do so and rely on.
I don't have. I'm gonna be honest. I don't
to
have
even
friends
pay
like
their
that,
rent.
though.
To even pay their rent.
Like for example, I live.
Oh
in
my
a
God,
different-
I bolas.
I live in a different country, and I can't like a lot of the times, you know, like because of a lot of the fraud that a neighboring country to my country does, it's difficult for us to use.
No,
credit
what country
cards.
you talking about now? Come on, now. Let's talk about it, bro. Cause you're not going. Nah, let's talk. No, drop the name, man. Like, nah, let's talk about it.
There's a certain thing called 419. I don't know if you guys are.
Man, I'm not familiar with it, man. I'm not really good with numbers.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, you know, because of that, and
Anyway.
you know, scammers, and it's very difficult for me
Sakawa.
to be in my country
I think
and
that's
make
in Ghana,
purchases
heavy.
in the States. So a lot of times I have to ask my friends to do it here, and I've literally never had an issue. Purchases as small as $30, $300, like
Right.
it's really not an issue.
But that's friends, though. You know what I'm saying? This is not even chivalry. That's
so
just
no,
you being a
and,
good
but, and
friend.
this is and, no, and let me land.
Yeah.
So I have to be, and what I'm saying is I have to be honest with you, and I don't normally deal with people that have conversations about money.
Okay.
So this whole concept, so when I think of chivalry, it's not really about paying for things because
Money is not a
I
thing.
don't operate in a scenario
And that's what I'm
whereby
saying.
I'm counting coins or tit for tat. Like for example, like I'll go out with this person one day, the bill will be, you know, X amount, I'll pay it. The next time they'll pay. Like it's just not something that I'm actively thinking about. So when we're talking about chivalry and the conversation becomes reduced to who is paying for what, I think that's quite reductive. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like with chivalry, the conversation oftentimes points towards who's paying for what. And that's why I felt the need to introduce different components of chivalry too.
Exactly, because you're talking to two people for whom money is just
it's
a
not
gesture.
a problem, man. Come on.
Exactly.
Oh my God,
I will say I have dated a quote unquote broke person.
Broke boy.
I just don't know what to think of it as now.
boy.
But when I was in high school, I did date someone.
You were young.
I was young, and we were in a school, and you know, we were breaking down every 2 seconds in his car.
That's not
Breaking
it.
down.
Like
and
the
I was
car was
paying,
breaking down.
and I was paying for a lot of things.
High school child.
Yes, but I still love the guy to this day.
To this day.
Yes, not because of
To
money.
this day.
Not because of money, but I just remember one time I was at the hair salon. This guy has a car that breaks down every 2 seconds. He didn't even, at the time, we were 17. He didn't even have a decent car.
Is he money back now?
He's not money back. And he's
Bomba
paying off
class!
his loans. He's paying
So
off
you
his
love him,
loans.
but you're not about to marry him because he's not money back.
I
don't
will
think
say
she- I
that
don't think she's-
we broke up for different reasons. We broke up because we both went to college and we were long distance and we were kids and
So
long
if he
distance
became
was not
money
a thing
bags
at the
right
time.
now, like hit mad bread.
No, we're over. It's just past.
I don't think she
It's
meant she
past
loved
it.
him in that way.
Oh, okay. I thought you
I think
meant
she has love
No,
Yeah,
yes,
I
yes.
love
As
him.
in, we have no issue. We broke up for
no
no
beef.
reason.
Yeah.
No
She
beef.
has love for him.
But
I don't
at
think
the
she-
time, I just remember my mom and my grandma, who are the closest to me,
Right.
they took such a liking to him. And you want to know why?
Why?
Me and my mom and my grandma would be at the hair salon, and he would just bring me a Panera sandwich.
He should have been paying for his car.
And he exactly. And that's what matters. That's what matters, though. He went out of his way to do that. And he used to come in, like, even when I wasn't there, he would come shovel the snow from our house. Ghana guys don't do that. Like, he just was doing it because he was trying to make up for it
So
in
this
other
was not a
ways.
Ghana boy.
This was not a Ghana
This was
boy.
a Yoruba man, by the way.
This was a fully American individual,
He was Yoruba, don't
half
worry.
black, half white.
Don't worry, he was Yoruba.
And my parents loved him. My mom, my grandma loved him because he used to come and do stuff for them.
And I feel like
service
and that's
was his way of being chivalrous.
Right. And I think that definition of chivalry...
Because no one will expect you to go to his house and shovel snow.
But why not though? You feel me? That's the debate here. Like, why not?
It's because that's probably their love language. You feel me?
Can we talk about love languages?
Let's talk about it, man.
Let's talk about it.
Can we talk about love languages?
Let's talk about it.
People want, and that ties into equity because people want different things.
Okay.
People want different things.
People want gifts.
It doesn't matter whether it's social norm induced or just genuine, but people want different things. Some guys just want you to call them a few times a day, and some girls just want you to shovel their car out. Huh?
Say that again, bro. This man wilding, bro.
It's about love languages. I think we need to reduce it to that and make it a more personal thing. What does each person want? And take away this sexist thing, because gender roles and sex and stuff, that's starting to dissipate. There's no more restrictions of women can't work. Yeah, there's no more women can't work and women can't own property. We can do everything now.
But this
and
is not
I
even
acknowledge that. I acknowledge that.
This is not even from like a corporate standpoint though, like I said, and that's kind of what I wanted to get out of as well, is the concept of like, I'm not talking about equality in the workplace, you know? I'm talking about why can't
socially
you shovel my snow from my driveway?
Do you want me to shovel the snow in your driveway?
No,
that's my thing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So that's my thing. I feel like in these situations, men always ask, "Well, why don't you? Do you really want me to do that?"
Nah, I don't.
Yeah, so then why are you asking me that?
No, but it's not a matter of me wanting to do that. It's a matter of like.
It's the principle again?
Nah, no, it's not even the principle. It's not even the principle. It's like, yo, I would never want you to give me your jacket if it's cold outside. The fuck? If I have on a t-shirt, I'm just cold as shit. Then.
You can't fit our jacket?
Huh? I mean, hey, you never know, man. You feel me? That's fashion now, 2019. But like, nah, like, no, a situation like that, for example, that's a chivalrous act. You know, giving up your jacket if it's cold outside, pulling out her chair, opening her door.
Yes, but there's some things men also want that are traditional. Chivalry stems from tradition.
Right.
Yes, there's some things men want from women that are just traditional. I can't cook for shit. Okay. But if I feel like being traditional some days, I might try and make a pasta or something.
So is cooking the woman version of chivalry?
Maybe. One of them. I think it's one of them.
How can you say that one thing, like one action, is literally
I think it's one of them. I said one of them.
It's just like I said no.
It's just like men paying on the first date. Like I'm saying,
okay, I want us to not talk about paying for things anymore. Let's stop.
Well, I think we've beaten money to death.
It's quite reductive.
Nah.
So
because people are of different classes, we can acknowledge that. For some people, money is not a big deal. For some, it is.
Yeah, I think it's unfair.
Let's leave it out.
To use that.
All right. Now, so what is another version of men being chivalrous that's not paying? Except for holding doors open, because that's
holding doors.
That's mad basic. That's mad basic.
What about the side? Like
jacket is mad basic. Like
the sidewalk,
standing on the side of the cars.
The sidewalk thing.
That's natural.
Yeah, but that's protection.
That's not natural, bro.
I naturally cannot be next to a woman who's on with the road.
Because you were trained to be chivalrous.
We're physically more fragile.
Although it is not clear in your
You might be able to take a car accident and I might not.
Like what?
But why not though? Like what if I'm a petite nigga? You feel me? And my girl check in heavy.
We take
He's 5'2", boys.
5'2"? You don't believe that? Come on, man. Come on, 6 foot gang, man. Strong niggas left y'all in 2016,
5'2", bro.
Man. No, okay, but a situation like that, for example, I feel like that's something that is so like minute in the grand scheme of like acts, like standing on the car side of the sidewalk. Why can't the lady do that though? You feel me?
Why should I do that?
Like, let's say, like for example, because the point that was made was men are built bigger than women,
Who
right?
said that?
But let's say like I'm like a real petite nigga. You feel me? Like I'm 5'3", 120.
You know what?
And my shorty's 6'5".
I'm not gonna date you at that.
Nah,
so I'm not gonna date you at that.
Why?
So I don't have that issue.
Why?
But
so if you wouldn't date a man shorter than you?
She's very short.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, let's be fair. I think she's quite short, huh? I think that's a very unfair question.
No. But legitimately though, would you date a man shorter?
She's quite small.
No, she is. But so how? And I feel like that plays into equality too, to a certain degree. Like, why is it that women prefer tall men, but men can't prefer tall?
That's just natural selection at play.
How?
Because women like to feel protected. It's a thing.
How?
Men like to
and it's so funny though, because as much as women say they like tall niggas, there's a lot of women out here messing with short niggas, bro. But them short niggas be getting a lot of love.
I heard them niggas be swinging.
Wow. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. My man's wilding. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close the show out. This man is bugging.
I think everybody has their idealistic whatever, and everyone has their realistic.
Right.
Prioritizing what's more important than height.
And I also think that social media plays into that a lot, too. People try to make it seem like they
social
have
media is
certain
ruining relationships.
standards of what they want. Yeah. But in reality, they know what they would, settle for if it came down to it kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, Josh just killed the moment by saying what he just said. Y'all can feel free to rewind that. Like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, we got Princess NAT and the cameraman, aka shout outs to Josh, man. This your boy J.I. Day. This is episode 6 of the J.I. Day podcast. We're talking about gender equality versus chivalry, man. Before I end up this episode, I just want to shameless plug myself one more time for the one. Follow me on Instagram at Joe the Great. That's JOETHEGR8. And my podcast page 2. Shameless plug. That's j.ide.pod. That's j.ade.pod. Y'all gonna have my Instagram name memorized sooner than later. Like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 6 of J.I. Day podcast, man. We out.